Jai Jinendra. Once again, I welcome you all the participants in the room today, all the dignitaries, our speakers, K. Raghu sir, Vaibhav ji Sankla, Ravi Jain sahab, Director in charge JPF, Ajay ji Bora, Vice Chairman JPF, Kantilal ji Oswal, Chairman JITO Pune Chapter, Satish Bora, CEO, ca-dashboard.com, Dinesh Jain, Youth Wing Chairman Pune, Gaurav Nahar, Youth Wing Secretary General Pune, and all the dignitaries and participants. So I would request, we would start the session with Navkar Mahamantra. So please recite Navkar Mahamantra and then we take the session ahead. Om Namo Arihantanu. Namo Loe Savasahuna Aso Panchi Sabva Pava Panasano Mangalanam Chesavesi Paramam Havayanam Paramam Havayanam. Good morning once again, Jai Jinendra. Today's session is directed mostly to the professionals. The topic says it all about digital presence for the professionals in this COVID era and virtual offices. Taking the agenda to next level, I would request our JITO Pune Chapter Chairman Kantilal ji Oswal to address the audience.
Jai Jinendra, good morning. Pranam. A warm welcome to all from JITO Pune Chapter. I welcome our speakers Sri Vaibhav ji Sankla and CA K. Raghu ji from JITO Pune Chapter. I would like to thank Sri Ravi ji Jain, Director in charge JPF, Ajay ji Bora, Vice Chairman JPF, our JITO Youth President, Dinesh Jain, and all JPF and B2B team for arranging such a knowledgeable and wonderful webinar for our members. I also welcome our Board of Directors. I also thanks to our Chief Secretary of JITO Pune Chapter, Sri Ajay ji Mehta, who is moderating this knowledgeable session. दोस्तों, जैसे कि आप सभी जानते हैं, इस सदी की सबसे बड़ी विपदा से सिर्फ हम ही नहीं, पूरा देश, पूरा विश्व जूझ रहा है और इस आपत्ति काल में पूरा जैन समाज राष्ट्र सेवा के इस कार्य में अपना बहुमूल्य योगदान दे रहा है। जैसे कि आप सभी को ज्ञात है कि श्रमण आरोग्यम JITF जैसे कई कार्य JITO के द्वारा हो रहा है और जब भी मानव जाति पे कोई संकट आया तो JITO हमेशा से सभी के साथ खड़ा रहा है। भारत भर के जैन इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यानी JITO के सभी चैप्टर इस समय सेवा के कार्य में लगे हुए हैं और अपना पूरे तन मन धन से इस कार्य में जुड़े हुए हैं। अगर जो JITO पुणे की मैं बात करूं तो JITO पुणे के द्वारा भी इस कार्य में अभी तक बहुत सारा कार्य हो चुका है मानव सेवा के लिए, समाज सेवा के लिए, और निरंतर हम लोग ग्रोसरी किट, फूड पैकेट के द्वारा इस कार्य में जुड़े हुए हैं। कई जगह पे हम मेडिकल की जो रिक्वायरमेंट है, मेडिसिन की रिक्वायरमेंट है, उसकी भी आपूर्ति कर रहे हैं। तो हम सभी को पता है कि इस कार्य में ये लंबा चलने वाला है और हमसे जितना भी हो सकता है तो हम राष्ट्र सेवा में अपना योगदान दे रहे हैं। Today our speakers Sri Vaibhav ji Sankla, co-founder Billion Basecamp, Fomer, India MD HR&R Block, and CA K. Raghu ji, former President ICAI, who are going to give us their knowledge and help us to understand the importance of digital presence and the virtual office in this COVID era, and how it can make professionals think in a positive way and have a great impact in their businesses. Once again, we welcome you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Ajay ji, over to you.
Thank you, Kantilal ji. Thank you very much. Moving ahead, I would now request our Director in charge JPF, Ravi ji Jain from Kolkata, to address the audience.
Thank you, Akash. Ajay. I welcome everyone who are attending this webinar on importance of digital presence and virtual office, way forward for professional in the COVID era. I welcome our today's speaker, Vaibhav Sankla, co-founder Billion Basecamp, former India MD HR&R Block, and CA K. Raghu, former President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I also welcome all the office bearers of JITO Pune and JITO Professional Forum. Change is the only constant in life. One's ability to adapt to those changes determines their success in life. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, digital presence and virtual office are now becoming the new normal for the professional in India and abroad. In today's panel discussion, we will know the viewpoint of our panelists on how professionals can adjust and themselves amid COVID-19 challenges while also focusing on digital adaptability. So, not delaying anymore, I would like to request Ajay to proceed with the webinar. Thank you. Ajay, over to you.
Hello.
Ajay?
Yes, Ajay ji.
Yeah, Ajay?
Ajay ji, you can go ahead.
Yeah, it's mute. Akash, can you mute?
No, we can hear you. We can hear you, Ajay ji.
Awesome. So I would now request Ajay Ji Bora, Vice Chairman, to please address the audience.
Yes. Hi, good morning, everyone. JITO Professional Forum is a vertical of JITO, which consists of the professionals and gets operated by the professionals. Its members include doctors, lawyers, architects, banking and financial services professionals, chartered accountants, salaried executives, company secretaries, and engineers. Now, when the fundamental difference between a businessman and a professional, if we'll see, the son of a businessman can also become the businessman by virtue of being the son, because of the legacy or the DNA. However, a professional son cannot be a professional unless the son or the daughter gets certified by the agency. So the fundamental difference between a professional and a businessman is the knowledge. And in today's world, COVID-stricken world, the knowledge is changing and a lot of guidelines are coming in from the regulators as well as from the policymakers. So for the growth and the survival of any professional, which is based on knowledge as the foundation, it's highly critical to unlearn and relearn. And JITO Professional Forum, in partnership with Kantilal ji and Ajay ji as a Pune chapter, our endeavor is to provide platforms where the professionals can unlearn and relearn and add value to their clients. But before doing that, they need to enhance their skills and newer ways of doing things. So this session is in line with that thought process. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ajay Ji. Thank you for your kind words. Now I would request Satish Bora, founder and CEO of CA-dashboard.com. Satish has been a product specialist and IT expert guiding SaaS companies worldwide on product management and product marketing. He has over 20 years of experience in IT consulting, program management, and sales solution. We associated with CA Dashboard so we can expand our reach on this session to maximum professionals. Satish, over to you to introduce our today's speaker, Raghu. Thank you.
Thanks, Ajay ji, and thanks for my generous introduction. Good morning, all, and Jai Jinendra to all. We are privileged to have Mr. Raghu as a speaker for today's online webinar. Mr. Raghu comes with immense experience as a professional with global perspective. If I really start on introduction of the Raghu, I think it will take me hours. But what I'm just doing is I'm just getting the key bullet points so that everybody is aware about this. Mr. Raghu is born and brought up in Bangalore, completed his graduation from prestigious St. Joseph College of Commerce, University of Bangalore, then qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 1990. And then within a short span of time, he elected as the president of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for the year 2014-15. I personally had a chance to witness this. During his tenure, IT became the mainstream, and for that he traveled across India to sow the seed of automation and IT enablement with the Indian professionals. As far as the qualifications, he is an honorary member of Certified Public Accountants of Australia, senior partner of Raghu and Company, a leading firm of chartered accountants in Bangalore, specialized in taxation, audit, business, investment, and technology consulting services. He was a president for year 2014-15. He was a vice president for year 2013-14. He was the member of Central Council of ICAI from 2007 for 3 consecutive terms. Some of the positions which held: he is a former director on board of Indian Overseas Bank, nominated by the Ministry of Finance as an independent director. Former board member of the International Federation of Accounts, New York. International Federation of Accounts, IFAC, is the global organization for the accountancy professions, founded in 1977, which has 175 members and associates in 130 countries. Mr. K. Raghu was kind of representing the Asia in that forum. He is a member of Audit Committee of International Federation of Accountants for year 2015. He is also the chairman for CSR Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Apart from this professional thing, he is having the expertise in the startup ecosystem. He has contributed immensely to the startup ecosystem in the state of Karnataka. He is grooming a lot of startups and the founders to bring the best in them. I'm sure you all will find some great insights through his webinar. Ajay ji, over to you.
Thank you, Satish ji. Please welcome our first speaker once again, K. Raghu ji, with big round of applause. Thank you, sir. Now I would request our Jinesh Jain, Chairman, JITO Pune Youth Wing, who has also been instrumental in hosting first ever JITO National Youth Conclave in Pune with his complete team, and they really rocked this event. It was a superb event hosted in Jan in Pune for all the youth. I would request Jinesh to please introduce our second speaker.
Thank you, Ajay Uncle. Thank you for your really warm welcome. And once again, I would like to welcome everyone on this webinar. Talking about Shri Vaibhav Sankla, he has been a man with many feathers on his cap and has always been a man on a mission. An alumnus of Symbiosis College, he was a national level chess player during his school and college days. He completed his CA course with an All India merit rank and started his career with PwC and has also worked for KPMG. In 2005, he was caught by the entrepreneurship bug and co-founded Adroit, a tax company specialized in salaried individuals. At Adroit, Vaibhavji developed an in-house end-to-end tax preparation software using Excel and Outlook macros. He also pioneered pre-filled tax return back in 2010. He was a weekly tax columnist with the Economic Times. Vaibhavji sold Adroit to HR&R Block, the world's largest individual tax services company, and joined HR&R Block as the Pan-India head for business development, and later took over as the managing director of Indian business. He has recently co-founded a multi-family office, Billion Basecamp. That is just a few of the credits of Sri Vaibhav Sankla. Thank you, sir, for being with us today. Ajay Uncle, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dinesh. It was a wonderful introduction. Welcome with big round of applause, Vaibhav Sankla, as a speaker to today's session. Thank you, Vaibhav. So now we start with our first speaker, Mr. K. Raghu. And I would, if you need a screen share, please let me know, or else the session is all yours. Please take it ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ajay. And I deem it a great honor and pleasure to be amongst all the members of G2. It's the first time I'm addressing an audience of your forum, and I would like to compliment JITO Pune for having taken the initiative in organizing this very important webinar in the time where all of us are in the lockdown. I would also like to compliment all the office bearers of G2 for the excellent work what they're doing, the social service in the kind of support they're giving to the poor and downtrodden in these troubled times. And I would like to compliment Mr. Ravi Jain, Mr. Ajay Bora, Mr. Ajay Mehta, Mr. Kantilalji Oswal, the chairman, Mr. Akash Jain, Mr. Dinesh Jain, and of course my good friend Satish, who has invited me to be a part of this webinar. I would like to compliment each one of you present here, all the office bearers of JITO, the professional forum team, for the good work you're doing in this times of need. I would also like to recognize the presence of Mr. Vaibhav Sankla, my co-speaker, who will be speaking on the subject also. Friends, what I thought we should make this seminar interactive. So I requested Satish that maybe for 15-20 minutes I would be speaking on what is the current status of the economy, where we are all heading towards, and as professionals, what is the role each one of us can play in a scenario where the country is going through challenging times. I think myself, I'm a practicing chartered accountant at Bangalore. I put in about 30 years of experience. And as Satish said, I was the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I had the opportunity of interacting with a lot of chartered accountants across the country. And as finance professionals, I'm sure we can play a very important role in assisting the government in overcoming the difficulties the economy is facing. So also other professionals, we have doctors also in this forum. I've been given to understand the kind of work they've been doing. Healthcare professionals have been doing yeoman service, putting their life at risk, and they're doing a lot of work. I think we should congratulate and respect them, and all the members of the medical profession in your G2 forum. I think we should cheer them and applaud them for the good work what they're doing. Friends, so what I will do is, as you know very well, currently the economy is going through a very tough time. We are almost come to the end of lockdown 2.0, and tomorrow is the last day. And lockdown 3.0 would be a staggered version of this, wherein many of the activities, economic activities, would bounce back. And definitely all of us are aware the way many sectors of the economy has been impacted. If you begin, the most impacted is the tourism and the leisure sector. The kind of travel all of us have seen today, global travel, domestic tourism, overseas tourism, the entire sector would get impacted. And according to me, many businesses would not be able to bounce back until unless there's a permanent cure for this COVID and there's a vaccine that comes in. Till a vaccine comes, people are ready to travel. I think tough times for the tourism and the leisure sector. So this is something which we need to keep in mind as to what are the sector that is getting impacted. Aviation sectors, all of us have seen, they're not able to take that, start their business, even though the government has said that the flights will resume a little later. So aviation sector is going through a lot of turmoil today, because absolutely they have to pay huge rentals to the to the vendors who have given their aircraft on lease. So they're not able to get the passengers, and as a result of which we'll find that it's difficult for the aviation sector also in the short term to bounce back. Automobile sector, since July of last year, they went through tough times and the sales was not picking up. And I think all of you have seen in the papers that most of the companies like Maruti Suzuki, or whether it is any of these Hyundai, have reported nil sales for the month of April. And until unless things bounce back, the automobile sector would also have very tough times, and it is for us to see. As far as the construction sector is concerned, whether it's commercial real estate, whether it's residential real estate, these sectors also will see tremendous pressures, because today what is happening, developers do not have the money to complete their projects. People who have taken huge retail loans, I was on the board of Indian Overseas Bank, I know how difficult it is. People have leveraged on housing loans, and they'll not be in a position to pay their EMIs on time because of their job insecurity, because of layoffs that is taking place in various sectors of the economy. There'll be a lot of defaults on the housing loan sector also. So definitely the construction and the real estate sector would have a lot of issues. Financial services sector would get impacted. When we talk about the financial services sector, I also would include the banking sector, because the banking sector has to come forward and give support to the economy, give ad hoc working capital facilities to the businessmen. They're able to bounce back. As far as education, oil and natural gas, and other sectors of the economy like the health sector, the food sector, the medical supplies, I think there's nothing much to bother about these sectors. they will definitely do well, especially the medical supplies, the food sector, e-commerce sector. ITS also will go through some trouble time, but yes, there's nothing to panic. Education, most of it is going online. All the universities and colleges across the country are switching over to an online medium of education. And today we find that assessments in colleges are taking place online. Students are being asked to submit their projects, online. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when I just give you a bird's eye view of the economy, we see certain sectors of the economy that are extremely in a bad shape, certain sectors of the economy that needs to go with a lot of caution, and certain sectors of the economy that are doing that would continue to do well. So we have different sectors of the economy. So let's be positive. I am a guy who's very positive. I always believe Indians are good at facing challenges, overcoming challenges, working together, and maybe once things settle down and the economy slowly bounces back, we can see a lot of activity taking place. And I'm sure all of us can see back the good times what we had. All of us have to put in more effort. There can be no substitute other than hard work for each one of us, whether you're a doctor, whether you're an architect, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a chartered accountant. I think each one of us have to put in additional work. We need to put in additional time to see that we go through these challenging times, and I'm very confident that we will all be able to go through. Friends, having given you an idea as to what is happening in the economy, I thought I should share as professionals, since I am a chartered accountant in practice. I think for professionals, what is very important is that we should keep ourselves relevant. We should keep ourselves updated. We should be available to clients always. So also whether it is lawyers or company secretaries or, architects, we need to see that we are always available to the clients. So what I thought in the next, 15 minutes is that I would just tell you what are the key things that we need to do in this scenario, in the time when we are at home. Last 45 days, we've been at home. Next 15, 20 days, we'll be working partially. And, we'll try to kickstart our activities in our respective offices. But I feel it's a time for us to introspect, time for us to see whether we can bring about a change in the way in which we carry out our profession is what we need to think about. The first area which I feel as professionals, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's a chartered accountant, whether it's a company secretary, is the first thing what we need to do is this gives an opportunity for us to upskill. Lockdown has given an opportunity for you to upgrade your skills. Maybe it will continue for some time. You should try to see if you can upskill yourself, because upskilling is something very important. You take our profession, a lot of new areas have come up. Most of the chartered accountants are in traditional areas of practice, such as audit and taxation. But today we find that business people come to chartered accountants for a lot of additional services, like they want business consulting, they want various other support services in the field of insolvency, then valuation, then forensic, international taxation, advice on international taxation, then on information technology consulting. If let us say a business wants to automate its business, as a chartered accountant, how you can help them to automate the business. So you find that the requirements of the business is changing, it is dynamic, and especially the new generation businessmen, expectation from professionals is increasing. So for this, you need to upskill yourself. Maybe you need to take up a few certification courses offered by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, or take up a few certification courses offered by reputed institutes like the management institutes, wherein we can upskill our knowledge in these areas. Because friends, if we are able to update ourselves and upskill ourselves, that is the best thing that could happen. Chartered accountants are good at working on computers. We need to see whether we can work on advanced Excel, whether we can use working on audit software, so that sitting at home you can conduct an audit of organizations. Today what is happening is we are getting into a digital economy. In a digital economy, all the transactions happen online. You can buy an air ticket sitting at the comfort of your home. You can buy a tie sitting at the comfort of your home. You can do a transaction on your bank account, transfer funds from one account to another account. You can have your put your money in your fixed deposits online. You can buy your insurance policies using online facilities. So what is happening? We are entering into a digital era where everything is moving from the brick and mortar to the online mechanism. I think all of us have seen how the change has taken place. Today is possible for you to view a lot of web series online also. So what is important for us to know is that because of the developments taking place in information technology, developments taking place in high quality telecommunication, we as professionals should try to see how best we can offer our services online to our clients. Whether if you're a doctor, whether you can offer services to our clients, maybe through a Zoom call. Maybe if you're an architect, whether it's possible for you to discuss with your clients on a call and try to understand what is the requirement. So what is very important, friends, is that in this scenario, there's a need for us to upskill, and upskilling will give you an excellent opportunity for you to get into newer areas, because every profession has a lot of new areas opening up. When you talk about the medical profession, we know the kind of specialization the medical profession is into. So there's a scope for upskilling for the medical professionals. When you take legal, the profession, yes, there's an opportunity for them to specialize in, intellectual properties, or, in insolvency. So many new areas are there for them to specialize. When it comes to, chartered accountants, as I said, you could get into international taxation, you could get into, information systems consultancy, where you can sit at your office or home and carry out an online audit of your particular client. Since we are getting into a digital economy, most of the businesses are using the internet for carrying out their business transaction. There is a need for us to have the knowledge of technology. So upskilling is something which each one of us have to keep in mind. The second area which I personally feel which is relevant to each one of us as professionals is that what are the new opportunities that are available to us? You should try to introspect and find out, okay, fine, currently, if you're a chartered accountant, you're offering services in direct taxes, indirect taxes, can you get into new areas? If you want to get into new areas, what is it you need to do? So let us say if I am a chartered accountant in practice, and if I want to develop my practice, I need to network with chartered accountants in other cities like Bombay, Pune, Delhi, Calcutta, try to work with them so that we are able to exchange professional work. This is possible for you to do only if you're able to spend quality time in reaching out to your friends around the country. In addition to that, you can also network with professionals outside the country. Let us say you have a friend who's a doctor, or you're an architect who's in Singapore. You can work with them, network with them, and try to see how best you can exchange your thoughts, ideas, and try to see that you are able to imbibe the best practices what they are following. So what is important, friends, is that there's a need for us to look at new opportunities. And when we're looking at new opportunities, sometimes you need to bring in new talent also into your organization, because without bringing in new talent, you'll not be able to take advantage of the new opportunities. Let us say an architect firm, traditionally, the architects used to, design the buildings using, the traditional thing. Now everything is on CAD and CAM. So you might have the new generation architects who are very good at that, in creating three-dimensional views, perspectives, all that can be done within no time. Earlier, the traditional architects used to take a lot of time to design the buildings or the residential houses. Similarly, in our profession also, everything has become online. You can file your income tax return online. So you need to have the knowledge of technology. So you need to have youngsters who can support you. So what is important is that each one of us, if you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, if you're a chartered accountant, should try to see, are there any new opportunities for us? Because this is when you can think, this is when you can reskill and try to see if you can get into some new areas of practice or new areas in your profession, so that you're able to, improve your efficiency and performance. The third area which I personally feel is that we need to automate our operations. If I am a chartered accountant, I need to see whether I am technology is adequate in our office. If you're a doctor, you should see whether your clinic or whether your hospital is adequately equipped with technology. If you're an architect, you need to see whether you have the right kind of IT resources in your office. When we talk about IT resources, it could be both hardware and software. When it comes to a chartered accountant's offices, we find that most of the chartered accountants do not invest adequately in information technology, in IT. So I would make a request to all the chartered accountants in this particular forum that if you get an opportunity, please invest in good hardware, good software, so that you're able to scale up your services. Today, the first thing what you can do is, all of us could do, is move to the cloud, because everyone is talking about working from home. How can you work from home when your data is in the server in your office. You can't work from home. So there's a need for you to see if you can, move all the data of your organization, whether you're an architect, whether you're a CA, whether you're a doctor, to the cloud. So you need to sign up to a cloud, what you can say, service operator. You can speak to them, find out which is the best cloud operator. Try to see if everything is moved to the cloud 24/7, sitting at your office, sitting at your home. Your staff who are on the move can access the data of your office. So the first thing what we need to do is invest adequately. Number two is to see that you're investing in cloud infrastructure, and you need to have proper disaster recovery system. Something goes wrong, let us say with the data, whether you're able to recover the data, whether proper backups are being taken. All these you need to spend some qualitative time and see that you're able to bring in some new developments in technology to your office. Today video conferencing has become very common. Today if clients are not ready to come to your office, patients are not ready to come to your clinic, if you're an architect, you don't have clients who are ready to come to you. So best thing is to use apps like Zoom, what we're using today. You have Blue Jeans, you have GoTo, so many other video conferencing apps are there. So you can set up a meeting with your client, get your client on board, discuss with him, and a lot of person visits can be eliminated by using this technology. For this, you need to see that all these technologies are built not only for you, for your entire team in your office, so that let us say a team of 10, 15 people can go on to a video call and chat with your clients. Let us say an architect is chatting with a team of engineers or his clients, he can do it. A doctor can interact with his patients. A chartered accountant can speak to his clients, and it is possible for us to use these video conferencing facilities. You should also invest in a good office management software to manage your offices. Today, when we go to a good corporate hospital or go to any of the multinational accounting firms, you find that the office management is very good. The way the entire work is bifurcated in the office, the way office is run. I think people like Satish have done a lot of work on this office management software area. We should invest in a good office management software solution so that we're able to automate all the repetitive tasks in our office. So things like billing in our organization, things like mapping the time spent by each employee, trying to monitor your accounts receivable, everything becomes online so that you're able to offer better services to the client. And also you can also automate your document management system. What do you mean by document management? So today we have a lot of documents. If it's a doctor, he'll have a lot of medical records of his patients. When it's a chartered accountant, I'll have a lot of records of my clients for each of the assessment areas: profit and loss account, balance sheet, his tax audit report, his memorandum and articles of association, his GST registration certificate, GST returns. I need to organize all these documents in an orderly fashion so that even if my client wants it, he should be able to access the documents which have kept it in his folder using his password and using his password. I would suggest that we need to invest in a good management system, document management system. So what is important, friends, is that it is essential for you to automate the complete office so that you can work wherever you are. Once your data is on the cloud, once you have a document management system, once you have office automation software, it is possible for you to operate from wherever you can. Whether you can operate from the airport, you can operate from your home, you can operate from your office, your staff can operate from their audit place where they go. So it's become very easy. Another important thing which you need to keep in mind: licensing of all software. Please try to see that you switch out to original licenses. If you're not using proper licenses of your software, please see that you switch out to original licenses. And as I suggested, move to a cloud-based platform so that once the data is on the cloud, you can access all the information wherever you are. Friends, the next area where we can all focus is on branding and communication. Today, what is happening is that you can have a good website. Many professionals do not even think of a good website. Now, this is at the time you have some spare time. Can you think of a good website which can have all the features like a blog, a video chat, or a video conferencing facility built in the website? Whether it's a doctor, whether it's a chartered accountant, whether it's a lawyer, you can improve your internet presence by a good website. Try to use social media. You have platforms like LinkedIn, you have Twitter, you have Instagram. You can share professional knowledge. You can share knowledge with your clients using social media. Let us say there are some COVID relief measures announced by the government. If you're able to put it on your Instagram or you're able to put on your Facebook page, your clients can have access to the information. So what is important is that we should be able to use social media effectively. We should be able to see whether we can have a good website that is very state of the art, where video conferencing facility, blogging facility, everything is there. And what is very important is, friends, in this branding and communication, that keeping in touch with the clients. How many of us do keep in touch with the clients? Okay, fine. Last 45 days, we have been in the lockdown times, pursuing our hobbies. How many of us have been in touch with clients? We should proactively try to reach out to the clients, talk to them, give them a sense of comfort. For me as a chartered accountant, if I call up my client and talk to him, try to listen to him, try to understand his problems, and if I'm able to give even one suggestion which is helpful to him, I'm sure the client will be thankful to you, because he'll say, Mr. Raghu called me during those challenging times when I was about to, when my business was not doing well, manufacturing had come to a complete halt. Mr. Raghu called me and inquired about me, and he talked to me. So it is absolutely essential that you keep in touch with your clients, key clients, so that they get a comfort that here is a professional in Mr. Raghu who is able to be in touch with me and give me that kind of comfort. Because in these challenging times, we have to give handholding support to the client. Similarly, any other professional also, whether it's a lawyer, you need to keep in touch with your clients. Your architects, whether you're a medical professional, when you know that you have certain clients of yours are not keeping well, proactively you should call up your patient and try to find out whether he's doing fine, whether he requires any support. So I personally believe that you need to have good PR strategies and try to see that how best you're able to build up your clients. Friends, the other area which I would like to talk about, is training our teams. Ultimately, for us to achieve success, we need to train our teams. Today, a lot of training tools webinars are available, like this webinar what we are having. You can ask one of your senior staff in your office to take the lead and conduct a webinar. And in a profession like us, where a lot of new technologies are coming, like robotic process automation, artificial intelligence, then data analytics, blockchain, a lot of learning can happen for your team. Even for the medical profession, they need to understand how robots can be used in their today. If you go for eye surgery, everything is automated. The patient has to just lie on the bed. You have a computer that comes close to, you have a robot that comes close to your eyes and it carries out the laser treatment. Everything is automated and the doctor hardly touches any portion of your eye. So every profession has got a lot of technology, like robots being used in the medical profession. Even in the CA profession also, you have a lot of automated processes. Let us say the vouchers that have been generated, you can use a barcoding scanner and try to punch the vouchers on tally. So robotic process automation will come, blockchain would become a reality. Artificial intelligence is there, everywhere in all our houses. Today you come home, and you say, hello, Alexa, can you play this song for me? You have the song playing for you on the TV because of artificial intelligence. Analytics is very important because whether it's doctor, whether it's chartered accountants, we deal with a lot of data. We need to analyze the data and see how best it is useful. Finally, friends, I think as professionals, we also have a role to play in helping society. I think your organization is doing a great job. As professionals, we can afford to help the society. We can proactively take a lead, be a part of such forums and see whether you can support the community, because when you look at society, a lot of underprivileged people. You see the kind of sufferings the migrant population is having today. So what would happen is that it is essential that we need to contribute something to society. These are the few thoughts which I thought I would share. Then I would like to take the questions of all the members. Almost 353 members are there on board. I would definitely like to take the questions from all of them. Thank you very much. Ajay.
Thank you, Raghu sir. It was wonderful for touching major points as per the planned seminar and the focus we had today. How important it is for branding and communication. How important to keep the public relations on through social media, through your blogs and things. Investing in technology, investing in talent to bring more talent better than you to grow. So it was wonderful talk. Thank you very much. We'll take another speaker and then we'll jointly take the Q&A. So that then, we don't break the flow. So now I would request our second speaker, Vaibhav Sankla, to please present his talk to all the participants today. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Good morning, friends. It is a big honor to be here on this platform. Big thanks to all the office bearers of JITO. I would actually want to take you through the presentation. So with the screen share option.
You can use the green button.
Share screen, नीचे green color.
Vaibhav, can you hear us? There's a green button for screen share. Can you look at it? I can't see. Did we lose Vaibhav? Just a moment. Let me check if he's back. I think we lost him. Let me wait for him to join back, and then I'll just add him.
Do you want to take one question which,
Yeah,
which was in the chat actually, which was
Sure.
I think asked by the Kantilalji Jain about how audits can be done online in a present time or afterwards?
Yes. No, Vaibhav sir is back, so I think just
Okay.
so let's take that flow. I'm sorry about it.
Yeah,
Vaibhav,
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So there's a share screen button in the center. If you can do that,
Yeah.
I think it will work. Yeah, we can see your screen. Wonderful.
Perfect. Sorry for the inconvenience. Friends, today we are living in absolutely unprecedented time. While it is good to be positive, I am an optimist myself, but I think it is also important for us to prepare for worse. Today, as you are saying, businesses are getting impacted. Even businesses of some of your clients are getting impacted. It is possible that the current situation continues and continues for longer period, and more businesses are going to be impacted. It can impact you as well. And as Raghu sir mentioned, it is important that you use this time and make the most of this time. So then when things are back to normal, you are better prepared. It is important to upskill, reskill, reinvent. I would also say that it is important to learn from home. If you learn from home, it will be much easier for you to work from home. I will start with work from home or virtual office. Before I actually get to the presentation, I'll also add that over the last 15 years, I have been in tax business. We used to do, it is work from home or virtual office. We always had a virtual office. We never had clients coming to our office. So from serving 100 clients, from the virtual office, we went on to serve 200,000 clients from the virtual office. And I will share, some snippets of my journey, during the course of the presentation. So, work from home, is it overrated? While we all know that there are benefits, there's a saving in rental costs, there's a saving in office overheads, and there could also be savings in labor costs. Today there are people who are working, who are willing to work for lower salaries if they get an opportunity to work from home. on the other hand, can we be really as productive from home? Can we really collaborate? Can we really build team spirit, which is required to succeed as a team? So, and many of us would agree that if everything opens tomorrow, we would happy to run to the office, right? So, is work from home really overrated, or is it an idea whose time has come? Think about it. 15 years ago, we didn't have as much internet penetration as we have today. 15 years ago, we didn't have the cloud infrastructure or the cloud-based products needed to successfully work from home. We all are aware of the long commutes to the work and how frustrating it is to get stuck in traffic, during the peak time. So, and then we have a very large company from India, the largest employer in India, in fact, TCS, saying that they have planned to move to 75% work from home. So, what is going to happen? While I don't know if everyone can actually work from home, or we won't have an office, but I do think that for most businesses, they will definitely have at least 20-30% of their staff working from home at any point in time. For professionals, I do think that there's a big change of perception. There was a time, before COVID era, if you are an independent professional and if you said that, I work from home, people won't take seriously. People won't take you seriously. They would just say, are you joking? Or why don't you just say that you are unemployed? But now, I think there is a major shift of perception. And I think the same people would probably say that, you are smart, you are agile. So I do think that a lot of professionals would explore working from home and without having office even post-COVID era. Now, what are the key points of working from home? Or, as you can see, working from anywhere for that matter. You can work from a coffee shop or you can work from any other place. Lower costs mean lower entry barriers. We always had people or professionals who wanted to start on their own. And many of them were a bit intimidated by the thought of having to maintain an office, having to buy an office, having to rent an office and incur all the overheads. Now, with virtual office or work from home, it's going to be a lot easier for them. So we'll definitely have, more people or more professional, pursuing an independent career, independent professional career. So the competition, in my view, would only become more intense. And add to the fact that in the coming months, there'll be more professionals, who would be unemployed. So they will also join the bandwagon. The other part I want to highlight is the flexibility to work from exotic locations. How many of us always thought of a dream job in Goa or, working from mountains? Now with work from home or virtual office, you have all that flexibility to work from anywhere you want. Hiring staff from remote locations to further reduce costs. If you are based out of Pune, now doesn't mean that you have to hire someone who is from Pune. You can hire someone from, think of any remote places, Guwahati, for example, and probably you can reduce your manpower costs further and quite significantly. move to cloud. Raghu sir did talk about cloud. I also mentioned it earlier that now you would realize that it is almost impossible to work with software products which run only on desktops. You need to shift or move to applications which run on cloud, which you can access from anywhere, anytime. And lastly, and I think a very important one is opportunities will have no boundaries. Why do you restrict yourself to serving clients only from a particular place? If you are from Pune, why can't you have clients from Bangalore, from Chennai, from Delhi, and so on? And I would go one step further. Why can't you have clients from Singapore, from New York, from London, and so on? So what it means is geography would become history. I want to highlight, one specific opportunity in this regard. As I said earlier, I have been working in the tax industry for the last 15 years. And this is what I could think in the coming times. Yeah, you see it right. It is someplace in America. Opportunities in the US markets. When we say that geography is history, what we mean that you can explore opportunities in other countries as well. And let me tell you why I thought about the United States. Many of you won't probably know, but H&R Block is the company which I worked for until recently, is the largest individual tax services company in the world. H&R Block in US does tax returns for salaried individuals, and just by doing that, the company has annual revenues of nearly 25,000 crore rupees. Now, if you think of individual tax services companies in India, which only cater to salaried individuals, if you consider top 5 companies, barring the big 4 firms, I don't think their annual revenues will even exceed 50 crores. And think of this one company in America, which clocks annual revenues of 25,000 crores by doing tax returns for largely, middle-class Americans or lower middle-class Americans. So the market is very, very large. Demographic advantage. I remember a couple of years back, someone shared with me that, so in US, our company employs 80,000 tax advisors. Every year, we hire 80,000 tax advisors, for a certain month, for a certain period. You won't believe when I tell you that the average age of our tax advisors in US was 57 years. That was 2 or 3 years ago. And we are a lot younger, hungry, agile, and ready to conquer the world. But you need to know, what we have to do. Dollars. You know what is the current exchange rate. I don't need to tell you more about that. And the last point is ease of pursuing certifications. There was a time, I remember, you could pursue a US qualification like CPA only by visiting US. And in those days, travel was difficult. Getting visa was even more difficult. Now you can acquire those certifications sitting in India. So does it mean that it's all easy and it's going to be a cakewalk? Not at all. But today, many of you have a lot of time. While you consider exploring additional areas of practice, as Raghu sir mentioned, If you are in direct tax, maybe you can consider indirect tax, maybe you can consider forensic, valuation, whatever. There is also an international opportunity which I wanted to highlight. And there could be similar opportunities for those who are software developers. You don't need to, worry about getting an H1B because you may be able to still do the same work from your home. You don't, maybe you are a designer, maybe you are a financial advisor, and so on. So it's not just about the CA profession, but I think the other professionals can also think, how they can pursue this direction. The next is about digital presence. I think the most important thing here in digital presence is our ability to be open. I think for years, we have been in denial mode that, this online shopping will not work. There are so many disadvantages. But as you have seen over the years, it is only gaining a higher and higher market share. I will talk about, tax filing. Initially, we had online tax filing. There were those who questioned that, who challenged that, who thought, this is not going to work and we'll back to the normal paper filing. But what happened? The government went one step further. They started electronic tax processing, return processing. Again, there were questions and there were doubts by so many of them that it's not going to work. We'll have to ultimately go to the local tax office. But then government took one more step. Now, even the assessments, the scrutiny assessments are electronic. I remember making this suggestion of, starting a centralized processing center for assessments about 5 years back. The government started that about a couple of years back. So the point I'm trying to make is don't remain in a denial mode. Accept that technology is going to have more and more impact and adapt early. I will give an example of my firm. In the year 2009, the government started or launched something called an e-return intermediary called ERI. I tried to, get or develop an understanding of what an ERI is. I did not get any answer. I did not know what it was. The cost of acquiring an ERI license was about 5,000 rupees. What I thought was, while I don't know what it is worth exploring what this is. And we applied for an ERI license. Think about it. I'm sure many of the tax professionals today, even today, they don't even know of what an ERI is. So what happened with that was, after we completed our registration, we realized that we have got a big ammunition. What is that? Back in 2009, because of our ERI registration, we could e-file thousands of tax returns sitting at our office just at one click. And because we could adapt early, we could learn and we could grow. So from filing few hundred tax returns, we could grow to filing lakhs of tax returns. So try to be open, try to embrace the change, embrace new technologies, be willing to spend for new technologies. Raghu sir also mentioned about that. I do see that there is a general hesitation for people, why to do that. I think in many cases, you will realize that it was very much worth it. So about digital presence, the most important part is being open. I will tell you another example. I see so many professionals still using, Excel to raise invoices on their clients. Some are even better, they use Word. So it's going to become more and more difficult for you, to manage your billing, manage your receivables, manage and get important insights, from your sales records. So it is important that you adapt new technologies and try to do it sooner than later so that you can learn more than others and grow faster than others. The last slide I have is digital promotion. I know that some professional bodies have limitations on promotions. They have rules and regulations. But while following those rules and regulations, think what you can do. You can see in the box, there is Facebook, there is Twitter, there is Chrome, meaning internet or website. As Raghu sir also mentioned, how many of the professionals have a website? How many of them actually have a really good website? How many of them have a website which can work or open and be open on your mobile handsets? How many of the professionals are willing to showcase their expertise, their knowledge on digital platforms like LinkedIn? I do think that digital promotion is something which is overlooked by many professionals. I do think that it is a big opportunity for a lot of us to utilize the current time and improve our skills, writing skills. I think if you want to do digital promotion, it is important that you have very good writing skills. And if some of you don't want to do that, find someone else who can do that for you. Find the right channels, be an influencer on LinkedIn. There is Quora, write articles, have YouTube videos on topics of your expertise, and find newer ways to promote your services. Friends, I would say that while this looks like a tough time, it is actually going to be a big opportunity for many of you. The history is being unfolded, as we speak. If you do things right, you will create history. Otherwise, you will risk becoming a history. So with those words, I end my presentation, and thank you all for listening to it patiently.
Thank you very much, Vaibhav ji. It was a wonderful session, and thanks for covering most point and sharing the valuable information of benefit of technology you gained for your organization in past, and that encouraged a lot of people to do better using technology in their own profession. We'll start with the question and answers. A lot of questions coming around from the audience as well. First question is for Raghu sir. In the CA, it's asked from someone in the audience. In the CA fraternity, you are known for as a techno-savvy president. In the market, there are number of office management software are available. Can you recommend few of them, and are they really worth to be used?
I think Ajay, to the question that has been raised, there are plenty of office management softwares that are available today in the market. What is important is that you need to evaluate each of these softwares, what is suitable to you, because every practice is different. If I'm in a tax practice, the nature of activity in my office is different. If I'm in a technology practice, my style of operations are different. If I am catering to startups, my nature of operations are different. So you need to understand the activities that takes place in an organization and try to identify a good office management software that suits your requirement. And the best thing for you is to do shortlist a few of the office management software that are available in the market. Maybe if you look at the CA journal, you'll find a lot of office management software. And even Mr. Satish also has got his own office management software. You need to sit down with them, discuss with them, try to understand their features and see whether it is suitable for them. And ultimately, what is important, which I personally feel, is that the embracing the software. Everyone in the organization should embrace the senior staff, because their time gets mapped in what is happening in office management software. There's a complete way, the change in which you carry out your work in your office, right from the time you allocate work to a senior staff, the time is mapped, the billing happens on the basis of the time spent on each assignment. So the whole ecosystem in your office should change once you look for an office management software. But I don't think there's any shortcut. We have to adopt to the new technologies, and office management software would be the first thing to begin with.
Thank you, Raghu sir. The another question from the audience is for Vaibhav ji: how to ensure productivity when you talk highly about work from home? So how to track employee performance, or how can we develop this culture, and is it really worthwhile developing one?
See, when it comes to employee productivity, when it in a work from home scenario, yes, that will be a challenge. In fact, one survey that was conducted by Infosys sometime back, way back in 2006, Mr. Narayan Murthy, in one of his interviews recently, when I was listening to him, said that in the survey that was conducted by Infosys, they found that the employees coming to the Infosys campus used to spend about 6.5 hours every day, and a lot of time effective hours in the office. But when they did a survey after 4 years, 2010, they found that it has reduced to 4.5. So just because an employee comes to your office, please don't conclude that his productivity is high. He might come to office on time, but your productivity might be poor. So if he's working from home, yes, there is a possibility that some employees are highly productive, some employees are not that productive. So you need to implement standards that can where you can find out what is the productivity. You can gauge the productivity of particular need. In fact, Mr. Narayan Murthy also said this: productivity standards have to be implemented to find out whether a person is able to work from home effectively. So that is what is productivity standard, whether working from home or whether working from office, is what is required.
Thank you, Raghu sir. Vaibhav ji, your thoughts on this as well, because
I think
to be used to audience.
Most of the professionals are currently not measuring productivity, even if they are working from office. Let's be realistic. How many of us are actually having tools or even has some product where they are actually measuring the productivity at office? So I don't think it's going to be any different. If you are using a tool, I would highly recommend for professional services firms a timesheet tool. I'm sure there are so many applications which are available on App Store and even otherwise, which you can use. Start with timesheets, and I think that will tell you a lot about productivity.
Thank you. We have our CSL JITO Pune CSL's convener, Sri Suhasji Boa. I would unmute him if he has any question, and I would welcome to this session. Suhasji, welcome to this session. I've unmuted you. We'd like to hear from you as well, sir.
Hello, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. At the outset, I'm thankful to Raghuji and Vaibhav. Wonderful. In my opinion, now practicing individually or practicing in few professional with few partners should be given away, and we should have a more network to go ahead and do the work. That using productivity is been the concept, Vaibhavji. Yes, up till now people were not using, but now this is a time where it should come. And in our CA fraternity also, both the speaker has given a lot of inputs that people can take home. Thank you for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you, Suhasji. Thank you very much for being with us. There's another question which is very different from the professionals. There we have someone from manufacturing side, and his question is: does work from home suit for manufacturing unit, and he is into manufacturing of educational games. So Raghu sir, would you like to look at it?
He's operating on?
Yeah, please.
Educational?
They are manufacturing educational games.
Educational games. I think, today what is happening is online selling has become very common. It's accepted. You're able to order food from home, online, you're able to do everything online. So I don't see any limitation for, this entrepreneur to sell his educational games and all online. It is possible. Only thing, as I said, when he works from home, he needs to design the business in such a way he's able to monitor his staff effectively, and he provides an opportunity for the clients to view his product, see the product videos, and try to take a decision whether to buy the product or not. But it is possible. Nothing is impossible.
Right, sir. Thank you very much. So another question for Vaibhav sir. It's more related to the security aspect. How security can be handled, and can we trust the digital platforms? Because there's a lot of confidential data of the clients, and everything goes onto the digital platform when you do a work from home or a virtual office. So how do you trust it, and what parameters need to be looked at to make sure the clients are not hampered when you go through those routes?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think before we go to security, I think there is one more important piece before we actually get to the security. What is that? So today, we already know there are those platforms. There are e-commerce portals. There are, what I would say, delivery apps like Zomato. Then there is Practo for doctors, and so on. What I think the first and foremost thing for the professionals when they evaluate a platform is conflict of interest. So if you are using a platform which is later going to become your competition, that is the biggest risk, for that professional. So let's talk about Practo. They onboard doctors, and I think many would agree that it's a great platform. But if I'm a doctor, I would think that, I will approach the association, and for CAs, it is the CA association, ICAI, that if there is a platform and if the professionals are asked to, or there's a promotion of that platform, I would want my association to kind of, have some kind of an agreement with the platform, because it is very difficult to do it individually, that the platform will not compete with those who they are planning to onboard. So even for CAs, if you think of a platform, I would first think that it should not be a platform which takes my data, which stores my data, which knows a lot about me than even I can think of, and then use the same data to compete with me. So I think if we first solve for that, then the data security, I think it becomes much easier. Then you have to ensure that the platform, gets their vulnerabilities tested, by a certain certified tester or something like that, and they place it on their portal, or they may make it available for the public that that is what they are doing and all that. I think most products do follow these protocols. They do get themselves audited, and they do carry out testing of vulnerabilities. But the biggest point is there should not be any conflict of interest in future.
Thank you. It was very comprehensive and wonderful. There's another question for Raghu sir asked in the chat room. Recently, ICAI had called for an EOI for development of audit tool. Raghu sir, can you throw some light on it, and by when is it expected?
I think Dikshit has asked this question.
Yes, Mr. Dikshit.
Today, what is happening in an online real-time environment, when you're asked to work from home, you need to have some audit tools wherein you are able to remotely access the server of your client and conduct an audit. So for that, we require audit software. Globally, when I was in the International Federation of Accountants Board, I had the opportunity of interacting with a lot of professionals from other countries. In America, or if you talk about Europe, you find that the certified public accountants in these countries use audit softwares to conduct audit of their clients. In India, what is happening is our chartered accountants in India are still not used to adopting audit softwares in their day-to-day working. And that is because of the fact that not many good audit softwares are available. Like, for example, we just have ACL and IDEA as two popular softwares in our country. But what is important is that audit software that are easy to use, that are affordable, is where the problem is coming. That is when ICAI decided that yes, we need to help the members in developing some audit tools which can be provided to the members at a concessional price. And the institute has recently expression of interest has been floated for the development of an audit tool. And maybe all this would take about 5 to 6 months, or maybe close to a year for them to come out with the right tool. But with technology being available in abundance in the country, I don't think it will take more than 6 months. We can all think of a simple audit tool, where you can perform your tax audit or your company audit or your bank audit using these audit tools. Because without audit tools, you will not be in a position to conduct audit. Let me be very clear about it. And the knowledge of our members on using audit tools is very, very limited in our country. And you find that many chartered accountants do not have the knowledge of using audit tools. And that is very critical when you want to conduct an audit sitting at home or sitting from your office. When you want to do an online real-time audit, you need to have the knowledge of these audit softwares.
Awesome, sir. That's a wonderful step from ICAI for the professionals and its members, automating them. Another question is again related to government for Vaibhav ji. You have worked a lot with government tax departments. Anything you would suggest for professionals to deal in a better way?
What I would say is the government is generally very much willing to listen to the stakeholders. In fact, I would say that they are very proactive. I'll give just a recent example. About 6 months back, there was a thought of moving away from the quarterly TDS filing and make it annual, from quarterly TDS filing to annual TDS return filing, with a change that while making the TDS payment, monthly TDS payments, the taxpayers will upload the deducted details. And what happened was, one of the senior most persons in the income tax department in New Delhi, he contacted me and he asked me that this is what they plan to do. Can you share your experiences in how it is done in other countries like US? Number one. Number two, they also said, can you share your own suggestions on this? And then what I could do for them was I could connect to some of the largest deductors in India, and we had discussions and gave a detailed list of suggestions to the income tax department. Now, with a lot of other things happening, maybe that implementation is put on hold. But the point I'm trying to make is the government is very proactive. They want to listen. They want to improve. And if anyone has any suggestions on this forum with the income tax department, especially with the e-filing system, electronic processing, all that, they're welcome to share their suggestions with me, and I would forward those with the right people in the tax department.
Thank you. That was awesome. That was very wonderful of you. The another question is for both of you is like, now as things are becoming global, and when we talk about work from home, we also can talk about expanding your reach of serving clients globally. Not necessarily you serve to one city or one state or one country, you can do multi-country work. And parallelly, we also spoke about digital presence, why it is important, how it is. Now, if we collaborate both of the questions, like your social media presence, making yourself known to many people, and how technically marketing is not allowed for professionals, actively, but how they can reach out to international clients for themselves or grow their practice beyond the geography. So I can ask, like, any one of you can start. Vaibhav, you can start, and then Raghu, you can also conclude this specific.
Yeah, see, Ajay, according to me, there's a huge opportunity for every chartered accountant in the country to, render services to overseas clients. Let us say a chartered accountant in Pune need not restrict his services only to the clients in Pune. He can look at offering his services to clients around the world. The question would come is, how do we reach out to clients who are situated in Singapore or situated in US or situated in UK? That is a question most of the CAs ask us when we meet them personally or interact with them in seminars. They tell, Raghuji, you please tell us how we are able to reach out to such clients and get work from them. Friends, what is very important is that when you're dealing with international clients, the international client comes from a reference. The reference is very important. The reference could be a business entrepreneur sitting in US, maybe an Indian who is a resident of US, knows you well, maybe because he's from Pune, but he has been in US for 20 years. Maybe he can refer to you. Or it could be a friend of yours who's looking for a company overseas, let us say in Singapore. He can recommend work to you. Another way of looking at it is that legal firms in India, if you if you have established good networking with legal firms, let us say in Pune you're practicing, there's a legal firm in Pune, and if you happen to know some senior partners there, if you're able to network with them, they could be another place where they can refer the work to you. They can say that so and so Mr. Raghu is a chartered accountant in Bangalore. He does a lot of work with startups. You can go to him. So what really happens is, if you want to build international clients, there needs to be one strong reference. Without a strong reference, no international client would come to you. But of course, yes, you have a lot of people checking on the website, trying to find out which is the most popular firm in Pune and try to reach out to you. But friends, be very careful when you're catering to clients, overseas clients. As you know, we have introduced KYC in the institute, know your client norms, and it is absolutely essential because most of the clients abroad would want you to do things which are not within the guidelines of the institute. They would want you to accommodate your office address for their companies. They want you to recommend your employees to be directors of their companies. My only warning to all the practicing professionals is that please don't give your office address for incorporating their company. Please don't lend names of your employees for subscribers to the memorandum articles of association. It's extremely risky, and we have seen so many cases coming to the institute where these companies don't comply with the local laws, they don't pay their taxes, and the responsibility comes on the CA. So handling international clients, you need to have a lot of diligence. Just don't jump the gun. They might pay you in dollars, they might pay you in euros. Don't get carried away by it until and unless you are confident about the background of the client. Do a due diligence, try to find out the background of the client. Only if you get the client from a good reference, you need to take up such assignments. But definitely there's a lot of opportunities for you to offer clients, because when you're looking at overseas clients, the only way you can deliver services to him is through the medium of technology. You can just interact with them on webinar, on video conferencing, and then on email, and you're able to share carry out your work. But it is possible. So you can as I said, be cautious, and if you're getting a good reference, that should be the start point for you. And once you get one client, automatically you build up your client of overseas clients.
Vaibhavji, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think apart from the traditional way, which is the referral way, that someone who needs a particular service, and he kinds of gets you together. Apart from that, I would say digital promotion. First of all, you need to know what is that you are actually going to offer to an overseas client. So are you targeting an NRI, or are you targeting someone who is planning to, invest in India, like create an entity in India, make an inbound investment in India? So, and then how is that you are going to serve him? Are you going to help him incorporate the company? Are you going to, help him with FDR regulations, whatever? So you need to know what is that you are going to offer the client. Once you know what is that you are going to offer to the client, then try to think how he is going to search that, right? What do we do? If you want to do something in some other country, you are going to do some Google search, right? And of course, you may also check with your connections, but apart from that. So then think of writing good quality content. So if you are thinking of, rendering services to NRIs, think of what could their questions be, right? What do the NRIs want to do in India? And think of 5-6 different topics, right? And so that topic could be how an NRI can make investment in equities in India, how the taxation works for NRI, where an NRI can make investments and where he cannot make investments, whatever. And accordingly, write articles on LinkedIn, on Quora, maybe on your own website. So think how they are going to search, what you are going to offer, and accordingly build content around that, build good quality content, which will showcase your expertise and which will make clients want to send an inquiry at least to you.
Thank you, Vaibhavji. So, Satish, do you have any question from the security aspect?
Yeah, I think maybe the question which typically I think I see in the chat, which people are asking about the security aspect. So I think that's a very core as far as the any platform you go for, and choosing the right cloud provider is very, very important in that aspect. While it may be little pricing point wise, it may be little higher than the normal thing, but I think when you are putting your business into this thing, I think you can't compromise on that front. So that is the one thing I would just add to the things, that security is something everyone should take very seriously as far as they are choosing any platform or basically going for any online tools actually.
I fully agree with Satish. Security is something very important, especially chartered accountants. We are dealing with confidential data. Let us say you are handling a big group in Pune and you have the financials of all the companies associated with that company. You have the financials of all the directors, the personal assets and liability statements of all the directors. We handle a lot of critical information. All chartered accountants who are watching this webinar would agree with me. The biggest challenge for us is to see how we establish the right kind of security controls so that there's no leakage of data. There's no one unscrupulous employee who has got access to your network sitting somewhere is able to download all the data. I think we need to build in the right kind of solutions with the help of experts in managing cloud architecture who can guide us, who can train our staff, and who can try to build in those systems where there's no security breach, because this is something which all of us need to keep on top of our minds.
Thank you. So another question again, coming back to the audit tool you mentioned, there's a question from Mr. Mukesh Toshniwal about lacking in use of audit, which is correct, but in India, 80 to 90% of clients are not providing data in structured manner, wherein these tools can be used. What should be done in that front?
I fully agree with him. Today, what is happening in India is that when we interact with clients, data is not provided to us in the required fashion. Data is not given to us on time. Appropriate closing entries would not have been made with the client. This is a problem which all chartered accountants face. But where the audit software would be helpful is that once the data is structured and organized, and you're able to sort of complete the data, once you have the data available that is ready for audit, That is when your audit software would come to use. But yes, right now, there'll be certain categories of clients will be able to provide you with the right set of data. Let us say a company, a big multinational company or a big limited company is having a very good finance department. They'll provide you data that is adequate and fine. But yes, SMEs and MSMEs, there is a problem. We have to live with the problem. We have to handle them, support them. And once you get the right kind of data, once it's complete, then you can use the audit tools. I think there are some questions which some members have raised on the chat. Few of them had made a note. Ajay, can I quickly finish it off?
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
So one question from Nipan Bansal. He's asked me, which is the best office management software, document management software, and CRM? I can only tell Nipan that there are plenty of softwares available in the market. Please make an informed choice. Try to shortlist the software that are ideal for your kind of operation. Call them to your office for a demonstration. Try to speak to them. Let them study your organization. After doing a perfect due diligence, then migrate an account of office management. Just blindly don't go to an office management. An office management software that suits your requirement is what is important, and that will be the key for the success of an implementation of a CRM or a document management system in your organization. Kantilal has said how online audits can be done. Today, even drones are being used to conduct stock audits. Let us say, stock audits have to be conducted. Drone technology is being used in many other countries. Very shortly, even you'll find in India, drone technology will be used for doing, online stock audits. And then it is possible for you to conduct an online real-time audit, as I told you, using audit softwares. And I'm sure all this you need to have skill set for which the institute has already come out with a lot of courses that will help you to build the skill sets. Roshan has asked the question, how to move to cloud with, as I said, you need to work with technology companies. You can't do it on your own. You can't take the help of your vendor, IT vendor to shift to a cloud. Please take the help of a professional IT company who can help you, assist you to move to the cloud, rather than blindly taking the help of an IT vendor and just investing in the cloud might not be a good idea. Go to a professional who can help you, guide you, and support you. Vaibhav Sankla, as I said, what is the ease of pursuing certification online? I agree with Vaibhav Sankla. Very convenient for us to get certifications today. For example, the institute has launched online certification course on valuation, on forensic and concurrent audit. I think chartered accountants. In fact, I have registered myself for the online certification course on forensic. I felt it's an opportunity for me to upskill, and I fully agree with Vaibhav stating that yes, we need to take advantage of these online courses, not only in the country, overseas also, where many of the foreign universities like Harvard are all offering it free of cost or maybe the nominal fee. Roshan Mandot has asked, what are the practical things you need when global opportunities are increasing? I think when global opportunities are bound to increase, more and more opportunities come your way. A good area for you to practice would be startups. Set up a separate vertical for startups. Set up a separate vertical for forensic. Set up a separate vertical for IFRS consulting, for KPO activities. Sure, you'll be able to do well. One more question asked by Satish is that what is the difference between Indian professionals and other professions around the world? I can only say that our professionals are, you can say, the Indian CAs are the most talented CAs in the world. I had the opportunity of meeting a CFO in Abu Dhabi, a very big oil company. And when I spoke to him, how do you find the CAs from India? He says, Mr. Raghu, I have a team of 100 CAs. Most of the CAs are from India, about 60 to 70% of them. And I find them to be the best CAs, even though we have CAs from Pakistan, CAs from Bangladesh, CAs from UK, CAs from US. We find the Indian chartered accountants are the best. So this goes to prove that our professional qualification is very good. And when we compare ourselves to the global professionals, I feel we are very superior to them. Only areas where we lack is lack of communication, number one. Lack of technology adoption is number two. And number three is we should be more methodical. When you sit along with a group of accountants from different countries, you find that they are better prepared than you. They come well prepared for the meeting, they make their notes, they come on time. Everything is done to the minute. So this is where our professions in India have to improve. But I'm sure way forward things are changing. The new generation is coming and they're adapting to the global requirements of how you need to conduct yourself as a professional.
Thank you very much, Raghuji. So I think that's all. It was a wonderful session. We've covered almost all the questions asked in the group and anyone have requested. we've almost crossed our time. It's 12:36 and 12:30 is normally we should have closed. That's how we try to start these sessions on time and close on time to respect everyone's time who's participating with us. Thank you once again, K. Raghu sir, for being with us, investing time with JITO. Thank you, Vaibhav ji, for being with JITO and investing time with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you to our JPF team for being with us and supporting on these calls, our JITO chapter chairman and everybody. I would now request to propose official vote of thanks to our joint treasurer, Hitesh Shah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thanks, Ajay. Jai Jinendra to all. Yeah, that was a really a great session. And thanks our key panelist, Mr. K. Raghuji and Vaibhavji Sankla for focusing on the importance of digital presence, importance of cloud storage and work from home. I especially would like to thank Vaibhavji Sankla for his post-COVID quote of geography is history now. Thanks a lot, Vaibhavji, for that quote. You also take this opportunity to thank Mr. Satishji Bora, CEO of CA Dashboard, who is our webinar partner for today's event. Apart from this, I would like to thank Mr. Raviji Jain, Director in charge JPF, Shri Ashokji Kothari, Chairman JPF, Shri Yajayji Bora, Vice Chairman JPF, Shri Kantilalji Oswal, JITO Pune Chapter Chairman, Shri Yajayji Mehta, our today's moderator and Chief Secretary of JITO Pune Chapter, as well as the B2B committee and JITO Youth Wing. Thanks you, Jai Jinendra. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you everyone once again. And we formally close this session and end this meeting. Ajayji, Bora and Raviji, do you want to have any last words? And Kantilalji. I think, yeah. So let's conclude this. Thank you once again, everyone, for being with us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.